Welcome to the sixth episode of the WorkSkills.pro podcast. Unlock your potential and elevate your career with the WorkSkills.pro podcast, a comprehensive resource dedicated to equipping you with essential work skills for today's dynamic job market. In this week's episode, we feature helpful information about communication skills at work, and get some insights into the job of data scientists in the United States of America. Are you ready? Let's begin. Part 1, Unit 2. 2. Communication skills at work. Good communication is one of the most important skills you can have in any workplace. It means being able to clearly share your ideas, listen carefully to others, and adjust your communication style to different situations. Section A, Key Vocabulary. Study these 10 key terms. Try to use each word this week. 1. Verbal communication. Definition. Using spoken words to share information or ideas. Example: clear verbal communication during the meeting helped everyone understand the new plan. 2. Nonverbal communication. Definition. Using body language, facial expressions, or gestures instead of words. Example: his nonverbal communication showed he was nervous, even though his words sounded confident. 3. Active listening. Definition. Paying full attention to a speaker and showing that you understand them. Example: active listening means you look at the speaker, nod, and ask questions to understand better. 4. Tone. Definition. The feeling or attitude expressed by the way you speak or write. Example: she used a friendly tone in her email so her coworker would not feel criticized. 5. Feedback. Definition. Information or comments about how well someone did something. Example: my manager gave me useful feedback that helped me improve my presentation skills. 6. Clarify. Definition. To make something easier to understand by explaining it more clearly. Example: if you don't understand an instruction, always ask your supervisor to clarify it. 7. Concise. Definition. Using few words but expressing ideas clearly and completely. Example: a concise email saves time and is easier for the reader to understand. 8. Assertive. Definition. Expressing your opinions and needs clearly and confidently, without being aggressive. Example: being assertive means you can say no politely when you have too much work. 9. Body language. Definition. The movements and positions of your body that show your feelings without words. Example: good body language during an interview includes eye contact and sitting up straight. 10. Miscommunication. Definition. A situation where a message is not understood correctly. Example: the miscommunication about the deadline caused the team to miss the submission date. Section B, Dialogue. Learning to communicate better at a new job. Priya: I've been at my new job for a month, but I feel like my coworkers don't always understand me. What can I do? James: That's a common challenge. What kind of communication problems are you having? Priya: Sometimes I give instructions and people do the wrong thing. And in meetings, I feel like nobody is listening to me. James: Let's start with the instructions. Are you being specific and concise when you explain things? Priya: Maybe not. I sometimes give a lot of details and the main point gets lost. James: Try giving the key information first, then add details. Also, ask your listener to repeat the main points back to you. Priya: That sounds useful. What about meetings? I feel invisible. James: In American work culture, people are expected to speak up. Try to make one comment or ask one question in every meeting. Priya: That's scary for me. English is my second language, so I'm afraid to make mistakes. James: I understand. But remember, it's better to speak and make a small mistake than to stay silent. Most coworkers respect the effort. Priya: What about body language? Does that matter? James: Very much. In the US, eye contact shows confidence and respect. Nodding shows you are listening. Crossing your arms might seem like you are being defensive. Priya: I didn't know that. I sometimes cross my arms because I'm cold, not because I'm upset. James: That's a great example of nonverbal miscommunication. Being aware of your body language can make a big difference. Priya: Thank you, James. I'll practice being more assertive and aware of my body language. Section C, Reading Article. Effective communication in the American workplace. Read this article carefully. If you find a word you don't know, try to understand it from context before looking it up. Communication is the foundation of every successful workplace. In the United States, employers consistently rank strong communication skills among the top qualities they look for in employees. Whether you are speaking in a meeting, writing an email, or listening to a coworker, the way you communicate directly affects your professional reputation and your career success. There are several types of communication that are important at work. Verbal communication, speaking clearly and directly, is used in meetings, phone calls, and everyday conversations. Written communication is used in emails, reports, and text messages. Nonverbal communication, which includes your facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice, is also constantly being read by the people around you. One of the most valued communication skills in American workplaces is active listening. This means giving your full attention to the person speaking, making eye contact, nodding to show you understand, and asking questions when something is unclear. People who are active listeners are seen as respectful and engaged. They make others feel valued and understood. In many American companies, communication is more direct than in other cultures. Employees are expected to say what they mean clearly and politely. If you disagree with an idea, it is generally acceptable, even encouraged, to say so in a respectful way. Being assertive means you can share your opinion without being rude or aggressive. Written communication is another area where many newcomers need to develop skills. In the U.S. workplace, emails and messages are usually professional but friendly in tone. It is important to be concise. Busy people do not want to read long emails. Start with the most important information, use short paragraphs, and always check your spelling and grammar before sending. Feedback is an important part of American workplace communication. Managers regularly give feedback to help employees improve. This can feel uncomfortable if you come from a culture where criticism is rarely given directly. However, in the U.S., giving and receiving constructive feedback is considered a normal and positive part of professional growth. For non-native English speakers, communication in the workplace can be especially challenging. It is normal to feel nervous about making mistakes in English. One useful strategy is to prepare key phrases or sentences before important meetings or calls. Another is to ask for clarification when you don't understand something, saying, "Could you clarify that?" or "Could you repeat that more slowly, please?" shows that you are engaged and want to understand, which is always respected. Finally, remember that communication is a skill you can always improve. The more you practice, in English conversation groups, at work, or in your community, the more confident and effective you will become. Part 2. Data Scientist. Job growth, 2024 to 34, 36%. Median yearly salary $108,020. Education required bachelor's degree. Work environment: office settings, remote work, technology companies, government agencies. What does this person do? Data scientists collect and analyze large amounts of data, information, to help companies make better decisions. They use computer programs and mathematics to find patterns and trends in the data. For example, a data scientist might help a hospital understand which patients need the most care, or help a company understand what products customers want to buy. Important soft skills. Curiosity and a love of problem solving are essential. Data scientists need strong communication skills to explain complex information in a simple way to managers who may not understand technology. Attention to detail is also very important. Working well in a team with other professionals is necessary. Training and education. A bachelor's degree in mathematics, statistics, computer science, or a related field is the starting point. Many employers prefer a master's degree. Learning programming languages like Python or R is essential. Many online courses and boot camps, short, intensive training programs, can also help you get started. Job outlook. The field is expected to grow 36% from 2024 to 2034. Companies in almost every industry need data scientists to analyze information and improve their services.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the WorkSkills.pro podcast. The WorkSkills.pro podcast is part of the WorkSkills.pro website, which features a large variety of career soft skills and career information from the United States of America. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast to access future episodes.